to another episode of Let's Talk Airguns. My name is Rick Hutzler, and I have my lovely wife, Sue. Hey, Sue.
Hey, babe.
She is here in the studio running the computer and all of the cameras, so when everything goes really well and it looks awesome, you can give Sue a thumbs up, and when it looks like garbage and it's all screwy, then you can blame me because I probably changed something on her while she wasn't looking. So that's pretty much how things go. I try and, in fact, I think, honey, today you came in and it was pretty much all ready to roll, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, we have a bit of a jam-packed show, so we're going to jump right in it. I do want to say thank you to all of our sponsors that help us do what we do at GatewayToAirguns and AirgunWeb. You guys can check them out, GatewayToAirguns.com and AirgunWeb.com, as well as the GTA forum. If you guys are into airguns and you like talking to other airgunners, then the GTA forum is a great place to go. It's GatewayToAirguns.org, so please do check that out. It's been going very well over the last few weeks. I've been far more involved. That's not why it's doing very well. It's just I've been enjoying watching the growth over the last few weeks because I have been more involved, and I'm posting every day, and we got some really cool conversations going. So definitely check it out. It's GatewayToAirguns.org. Last thing I want to mention before we jump into the fun stuff, we are planning a Memorial Day airgun shoot. That's going to be Memorial Day weekend. You can check out the details at theairgunexpo.com. I'm going to be emailing everybody that I've worked with in the past to see if they want to do another expo. If they do, that's awesome. We'll do it. I have something kind of in mind that I'd like to do as a competition. We'll see if that goes. But we also will be doing just, if you guys want to come out and hang out and do some shooting, we'll have a barbecue and just have a good time for the weekend. Yeah, we're going to do that too, regardless if we have the expo or not. So expo or not, we'll have a GTA fun shoot for sure. So hello to everybody that's already in the chat. Thank you guys for coming on. And I saw there was a bunch of people that were waiting already. So that's very, very cool to see things going that direction for us. You can download the show if you happen to miss it. You can download the show on our podcast. Just search Let's Talk Airguns, and you should be able to find it on most of the services. Okay, so let's get to our first topic. We're going to jump right into things today because, like I said, we have a jam-packed show, and I'd like to get to everything. If we don't, we'll kick it to next week. So it is about that time. People are going to be looking to get some new air guns. I think tax return season is a great time. People start thinking about what are they going to buy and what do they want. And I thought it would be interesting to have a discussion with you guys about how do you budget for your next air gun? How do you pick the right air gun? What process do you go through to get to the place where, oh, that's the gun I want? Sue, I mean, you don't buy air guns.
I do not.
But you do buy things on occasion.
Once in a while, yeah.
When you're looking for a new thing,
interesting,
like a kitchen gadget or something, what do you go through? I mean, what's the sort of mental process you go through when you're trying to pick something out of a sea of things to get? What's your mental process?
Can you come back to me?
She's over there busy. She's doing stuff. So I threw her a curveball. I didn't tell her I was going to ask her that question. My guess is that you want to identify what you need the thing for, right? So she likes kitchen gadgets. So I know recently she got an egg cooker. So what?
Ask your question again.
Well, I've already asked the question. What mental gymnastics do you go through when you're looking to buy the next thing that you want to buy?
Well, usually mine are spontaneous buys, or I'll see something on a social media platform that stands out to me as, oh, that would be super cool in the kitchen. It's usually a kitchen thing. And then I'll go research it and see what the reviews are like, and I'll see the negative and the positive, and I'll look at different prices and see where I can get it cheaper, what people say if you buy from the cheaper place, and then I usually go ahead and buy it.
Okay.
It takes a while for me to buy something.
Okay.
I don't just generally, hey, I'm going to go buy that today.
Okay, so when you're looking at buying a new air gun, there are lots of things to consider. Just like you bought, we live way out in the middle of nowhere. If you guys come out and shoot with us, you're going to see, and like our cabin we live in is solar. So we have to be very conscious of what we're plugging in and what we're going to use to make whatever we're going to make. Like, coffee is a roll of the dice in the morning. We have to check, do we have enough power to make coffee? And that's one of the things we have to do in the morning. So let's say we want to do eggs or something. There was a little egg thing she got that had the right voltage and it did the right, and we were able to make like an egg McMuffin type of thing off our solar panels, which is pretty cool. That's kind of is awesome. We don't need like a 6-burner griddle to make an egg. So those are the kind of things that you want to think about when you're looking at an air gun. You want to identify your purpose. And one of the very first things that I see people struggle with is for one air gun that does everything. And I know we got some folks on here that are going to, especially some GTA folks that know you're going to need more than one air gun. I'm just saying. You don't need like 300, but you're going to need more than like you want to target shoot in your back. That may be one, there may be a gun, so you want a coyote. There may be like a did for that, yes, Sue.
We are having an audio and a video issue.
Let's go on.
Audio was cracking and staticky for them, and for me too. Their video just went paused and went.
Oh, that's going to be our internet with the video thing. On the crackly audio thing, that could be too much volume.
On this?
Yeah, and I'm not sure quite how to tell you how to turn that down because you don't know how to do it. It's not that knob. You get into the menu. Why don't you talk to them for a minute, Sue? Why don't you talk to them
me on camera and then you can.
Why don't you tell them about your McCavity shoot?
My McCavity shoot this week?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this week we went to the range and we did some filming. And one of the things we filmed, I shot, was my McCavity MA2. And I really like that. Mine's a 22, right?
Yes.
Yeah, mine's a 22, and I use my ATN scope on it. So, because I got my own ATN scope now. So, thank you, ATN. It's cool.
I just turned it down. I don't know if that's going to help with it. I don't know if you're hearing it in your ear, what they're talking about.
It cuts out.
Okay, so
there's like a, it clicks, disappears audio for a second and then back.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that other than I'll give us an issue before we get out of there. And let's see if it comes back. There it is.
Benjamin Spencer says, hello, Rick.
Hey, Ben. All right. Some editing for Cheryl. We should be back and good to go now.
I'm waiting to hear you come back.
Yeah, no, we should be good to go now. I apologize for that, guys. We've had, let's see, today it was more so, our internet had been funky for a while. Talked to the phone company who provides us. We have microwave DSL. That's our internet out here other than Starlink. And they had a broken antenna mount, which is why our internet was so crappy. And I was trying to use that tonight. Did not work because they came out and repaired it. But yeah, their broken antenna mount was on the tower 5 miles away. But yeah, so we're on Starlink. Hopefully this is going to be good now. So
far it sounds good.
So and we're back to normal. Okay, good. All right, good. So we can go back to this. And what I can do is I can have Cheryl do some editing. She'll love that. All right, so we're back to like defining your goals of your air gun. And you're going to have things like you may want to target shoot in the backyard, or you may want to go hunt coyote, or you may want to go hunt hogs or whatever. Or you may want to shoot in your basement. There's not going to be one gun that does all of that probably. And maybe they'll invent one someday. So really identifying your goals is important. Now, in that, what I used to deal with, me personally as an individual, I was always trying to buy as cheap as I could. And I would often, like say if I wanted to meet this level of performance, I would find something that was like maybe right here. And then everybody said, oh, you can just, mod it to get there. And so I bought a lot of guns that way where like the gun I wanted that would do what I want, let's say it was $1,000. And then there was a gun that would be like here that was maybe $350. And I'd buy the $350. I would spend a ton of time, ton of energy, ton of effort, and it would never quite even get to where I wanted. By the time I was done, I should have just bought the one that I wanted in the first place. And that's the first mistake that I want to help you guys not make. If there's a gun or if there's a thing you want to do, let's say you want to go hunting. Is there a question or everything?
They need the volume up a little.
The volume up a little now. Okay.
Yeah, on my end, the volume is super loud.
Okay. I will turn the volume up. So we will do that. let's see if that gets us where we were. How's that?
Okay.
Again, apologize for all the mistakes tonight, guys. Appreciate your patience with us.
Technology. Gotta love it.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is what it is. So what I was saying is that I had so many times I would buy cheap and I would never really get to where I wanted to be. And I'd always know it. I just knew here in my gut that I wasn't getting the performance or experience that I was hoping to get buying cheap. So I've learned over the years that if there's a particular benchmark I'm looking to hit, whether it's the shooting experience, like I had a guy out here, it was really fun. It was one of a client, and it was after the expo one year, and he said, I don't get the difference between the various air guns. So I said, all right, well, let's sit down and try them. And I put him on like the Beeman underlever, which is super affordable. It's a bullpup, right? And then I put him on the Air Venturi bullpup. He said, okay, I can sort of feel the difference. Those were more similar, actually. And then I put him on the Wildcat, the FX Wildcat. And he said, oh, I get it. I completely get it, because the whole experience is different. The trigger's super nice and smooth. The cocking effort's super smooth. It's boringly accurate without needing to put any work or effort into it. It just drills the same hole every time. So he got that. They were all bullpups, right? They were all 22 cal bullpups. And one was significantly better. It was also 4 times as much money. If you're looking for something, whether it's power output, whether it's accuracy, whether it's the shooting experience, like the fit and finish and the quality, do not settle. If you settle, you're going to find yourself wishing you hadn't. And you're always going to wonder in the back of your mind, I wonder what it would have been like if I had just gotten the other thing. My lessons I learned over the years was that I wound up buying the low end 3 to 4 times, and I could have bought the thing I wanted in the first place if I'd just been a little patient. So I'm curious if you guys have any experiences like that, but that is certainly something that as you're looking to your next air gun, I'm not saying go spend more money than you need to, but identify your need. If it's hunting, find out what you're hunting, find out your power range, then look at guns that are going to fit that power range. If you have questions, put them down in the comments. I'll do my best to help you out. But if you're looking for something, don't sell yourself short. Don't buy here thinking, oh, I'll mod it to get here, because oftentimes that actually doesn't work out like you think. Any questions?
No, just a statement.
Yeah. Okay.
Benjamin said, amen. And when you go to sell to upgrade, all that money in upgrades is worth about 20% of what it cost you to purchase that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the value you've built into it and the money you've put in, the time and effort will never be recouped ever. It is a hobby. So that's sort of like another topic I was going to talk about. This is a hobby. It is for most people. It's a hobby. Hobbies are very expensive, actually. I have a photography hobby, and it's it's bad. It's ugly. I had all those computers over there were part of my PC hobby. And yeah, hobbies can get very expensive. And before you know it, you can be just chasing a needle that is actually counterproductive.
Rick is a man with many hobbies.
Yes. Music. Let's talk about the guitars. Let's move along now. Nothing to see here. But hobbies can be that way. And I want to encourage you to set your goal, set your expectations of what you want a gun to do, and then find the gun that you think is going to do that, and do your research, man. Check reviews, multiple reviews. Make sure that people are giving you like the full data, not just cherry-picked data. And then make an informed, educated decision. Get what you need. And I think you'll be much happier if you go that route than if you try and get low and try and build to high. You may find yourself struggling. The other thing Sue brought up earlier when you're thinking about your budget for your next air gun is what goes with it, right? You were talking about that, Sue?
Yeah.
So what were some of the things, Sue, you were thinking about somebody might need to consider? Okay, the gun is one thing, and then...
Scope.
Okay.
Bag.
A bag, I hadn't thought of that.
Tank.
Okay. Way to fill it if it's PCP.
Those are the things that I think of immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going PCP, I think the big elephant in the room, the big barrier to entry is how am I going to fill it? That's gotten a lot better over the years because we have personal compressors that are a few $100s that work really, really well. I use JTS. Mostly I use JTS compressors. They're a sponsor. They help us out. So we just got one of their water-cooled units in that's got the integrated converter. It's basically the same as the GK pumps, but the GK has one that integrated now. But that is a super nice unit. It's still pricey though. It's $700-800. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's a discretionary disposable thing. It's not like going to lunch, but it is something that can fill bottles, and that is like super important for me. If you're going to take a carbon fiber bottle out in the field, you got to have a way to fill it, and that one will actually do it. It's one of the more affordable ways to do it. But you got to think about that, right? And what kind of glass do you want to have? I put a post in the GTA recently, it was a couple days ago, about what do you budget for your optic. And I used to go parity, so if the gun's $300, I'd spend maybe $300 on a scope. And I know some people will go twice as much, so if you have $300, you'd maybe spend $600 on a scope. I don't think there's like a hard and fast rule, but it's just sort of something to consider. And I think it all depends on the gun and your wallet, right? And also what I have found personally is that if you're shooting in your backyard or say out to 50 yards, you know, even the more affordable 4-16s do pretty doggone well. It's when you get past that and you're trying to use higher magnifications that you need to put more money in your optic, because then all of a sudden the glass really begins to matter. That clarity, the quality, the coatings, all those things really start to matter when you start getting past 50 yards and you're using high magnification at 100+ yards. Like a 24 power, you're going to really want to have good glass, or it's just, you might as well not have it. Doesn't work. I remember getting some older of the, I won't say the name of the brand, but the old 6-24s, and they were a 1-inch tube with a 50mm objective, which is just counterproductive from the get-go because the way you had to bend the light to make that work. But it was, I mean, had the high number, but you couldn't see anything. It was terrible. Yeah, I couldn't see it. You zoom all the way to 24, and it's like looking through the end of a milk bottle. So not great. So we have to find your goals and be realistic. Realize that you may need more than one air gun based on your goals, and then set a budget. Do your research, and again, don't settle. Don't settle at all. You're better off waiting and saving to get what you want versus settling for something that's close but not quite there. Just some advice as you guys are looking for your next air gun. If you have questions or you have things like, Rick, I really want to do this, what, in your experience, what works good for that? And if you want to have that conversation, I'd be pleased to have it with you. So just reach out. Okay, any questions so far?
No, a little bit of chatting amongst themselves.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something out on you guys. You ready?
Sure.
One of the things we've been looking at here is how can we make our time with you more efficient. If you come out here and spend some time with us, you're going to see that by the time I do start to finish, from, you know, developing the concept, getting the product, dealing with the sponsor or provider, going out, testing, shooting, filming, editing, publishing, etc., I've got 10 to 15 hours, probably more 15 to 20 hours per video into that process. So it's a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of effort. And right now, this is all hobby fun. We do have some support. We do appreciate it, but it's a lot of what we're doing these days is just because I like to get up here and do it with you guys. So I need to make things more efficient. I had an idea. Today I went and shot the Hatsan Factor. Now this is an older gun. It's still available though. I looked it up before thinking about doing this today. And somebody, I think last week, asked if I had one. And I knew I had one. I just couldn't remember last time I shot the doggone thing. It was a couple years ago. So what I wanted to try out with you guys is like an airgun report. Not necessarily a full review, but a report on the gun and my experience with it, what happened when I was shooting it. So I'm going to need that phone. Hand me that phone, hon, because I have some crony numbers I'll share with you. Okay, so can you switch over to my computer and put me in a window, babe?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yep. All right.
Oh, hold on, wrong camera. Hold on. Give me a second.
That's the one you want.
Change the camera.
No, that's the one you want. You want
No,
the, okay.
it's
Oh,
not.
oh, I got you. You don't want my table. You want me.
No, I want you.
There you go. All right. There we go. That's even better. I like that. Okay. All right. Everybody can see that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Hatsan Factor. Somebody asked me last week if I had one. And I do actually have one. I have a 25. And I remember when I bought it, I actually, I wanted to do, I think I had gotten the FX Dreamline. I had the gunner, the Benjamin gunner, and the Factor was like the third in that sort of space. That was very, very similar form factor, capabilities, so forth. And I had people asking about it. I had no means of acquiring one other than to buy it, which I did. I spent like $800 on the thing. So I went ahead and got it in, and I shot it, and I was immediately completely disappointed in it. Like, oh my gosh, what have they done? And what have I done? I just spent $800 on this thing. But I kept it, and I worked with it, and I kind of did my video, shot it, and then I just threw it in the box and said, whatever. And I'll say now that I was probably a little too short on my opinion there. I was probably a little too quick to give up, because I've been thinking about some of those things I was talking about earlier, like expectations and whatever, research, kind of knowing your numbers and stuff before you pull the trigger, literally. And I came back around after being asked about it last week, and I spent some time with it today, and it's actually a pretty nice gun. And I thought I would talk about it as a report on the gun, talk a little bit about the results I got, and talk about their marketing material, where they hit the money and where they fell short, and what I could have done differently to have maybe made a better buying choice in the platform. Now, first of all, the platform I like. I like the AR style. It's basically a receiver with a barrel and a stock on it, right? There's no like big chunky wood stock. It's just, you have an aluminum. Let's see, we just can pop in here. Let's see. Right, so you have basically, you have just an aluminum receiver, right? You have an aluminum receiver, you have an AR butt stock, and you've got your air cylinder. And this is a regulated gun, which is cool. I do like that. And it is fully adjustable. You got an adjustable stock, so it's pull adjustable and it's height adjustable. Yeah, there's our receiver. It's got a lot of power settings. It's our power adjustability. It's got a transfer port adjuster, so you have low, medium, high. On the left side here, you see that plate. You can actually move the cocking handle over if you want. So for you lefties out there, if you didn't want to have to be, let's see, if you'd be like this and trying to smack yourself in the face every time you cock the gun, if you wanted to just have it where, let's see, you'd be left-handed and then cock. Yeah, if you want to move it, you can do that. It's kind of cool. It's got a split rail. It's got the big magazine, so it uses the 19. This is a 25 cal, so it's the 19 round sort of big old chunkin magazine, which is kind of cool. Let's see what other pictures we got here. I want to share with you. Let's see. If I'm going to go down their bullet point here, one of the things they have is the adjustable reg. So let me show you that. I'll talk a little bit about how that worked out today. Okay, so on the gun you have. Yep.
I've got to move your picture. Hold on.
Okay. On the gun you have
moving.
What?
Don't zoom in, because then I just moved your photo.
Okay. Okay, so on the gun you have external power adjustment. So I think what they were going for here was something like a competitor to the Dreamline. Let's say the gunner was not terribly adjustable. You could adjust the reg, but there was no hammer spring adjuster. It needed more hammer spring. That was just, it was a great gun, sort of out of the box. I gave it a little more weight. The hammer got 50 foot-pounds, and I was happy with it. Just easy. This one, when I got it, it was like 30 foot-pounds, and I'm like scratching my head going, okay, time out. Because, I mean, I've worked with Hatsan in the past, and they were all about how much power can you cram into something, and how heavy can you make it, and how much power can you get out of it. And that seemed to be their MO for like ever. And this was heavy-ish, but not terrible, and it had like, it was anemic, in my opinion. And I was like, gosh, did I get a bad one? What's going on? And then I decided to read the product description. And this part they got right. So if we look at energy, in 25 cal, they're only talking about like 33.5 foot-pounds. And that's not real fast, right? It's like 8, like the 25 fours, it's like 830-ish, plus or minus. And when I pulled this out today to shoot it, it was doing like 740. So I was like, goodness. Okay, well, that's not great. So let's check everything. So I looked at the reg, and on here we have, well, that's not a great picture of it, but we have our bottle pressure. There's a good picture. So we have our fill pressure, and then we have also our reg pressure. So when I got it and I started looking, the reg pressure was about 100 bar. So I said, okay, let's let's turn that up. Well, fortunately, it's like super easy to do it. If you look at this little window here, they give you a little tool, you put it in there and you just move it. Now, I don't have the manual anymore. It's somewhere in my shop. I didn't spend hours looking for it today. To make sure I didn't muck the gun up, I pulled the bottle. And one of the cool things you can do with this that I thought was really cool is you can actually remove the bottle. So the bottle just unscrews. And then you have the fill part. And the bottle stays pressurized. So it's got a valve, check valve on the bottle, which is really cool, right? So you just pull the bottle off, and then you can adjust your reg. It's actually the plenum still had air in it, bled that off, and then adjusted my reg. And where I started at like 100 bar, I actually took it all the way up to 175, almost 200 bar. And I saw, once I got to like 830, it didn't get any better. So rather than waste air, I pulled the bottle again, reduced the reg, and then brought it back up to about 150. Now at 150, it does pretty good. It gives me, and I'll tell you what my numbers are. I thought the reg did really well. So
while you're looking that up,
sure.
I don't know if you've answered this question. How many shots per fill?
I'm going to get to that, okay? Because that's one of the places on this paper that they got like, no, not even close. That's okay. So let me go ahead and pull the strings here. Okay, so I shot this a bunch of times.
Do you want me to still be on your photos, or do you want?
You could be. You can come back to me if you want. Let's see. All right, so I'll use the FX Crony. Actually, let me do this. I'll pull this picture up right here. So this was my last group, right? So I was going to pull this one up. So my last group of the day, it was the end of the shot string, by the way. So it was very steady throughout the entire shooting string. So I would get 3 mags. It's like 57 shots. Forgive me. I need somebody to do math. It's 19 times 3. I think it's 57. Is that right? It is. Yay. Okay, yeah. So
57.
57. I got 57 shots before it wanted to fall off the reg. Now, they're saying, let's see, shots at optimal velocity, 120. Yeah, no. And they say they're saying 80% of your shot should be at optimal, 85% should be at optimal velocity. There ain't no way in hell. Forget it. And I don't know what they consider optimal velocity, but 870 is what they have max velocity. So yeah, they're getting a little squirrely with their numbers there. I got 57 basically flat shots, and then I was going to fall off the reg. Now, I adjusted the reg. If I was willing to shoot at 25 foot-pound at 700 feet per second, okay, I would get more shots. Would I get 120 with 85% of them being optimal? Whew, I don't think so. I think you need to define optimal, you know. Anyway, but here, the last shot string was 19 shots, 11 foot per second with a standard deviation 2.9. I thought that was pretty good. And they were all very tight like that. 9, 10, like between 9 and 12 foot per second spread is what I was seeing. And I think that's really, 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 really good. If we go back, all right, so that, let me show you a picture of the accuracy quickly. We'll come down here. Okay, so here's a picture of the accuracy. It's one I use for the thumbnail, I think. That's 19 shots at 50 yards. It's not like a tack driver. Maybe you guys can help me out because there was something that was going on, and I'll tell you what I did to try and see if it was like the moderator or, well, I'll talk about that too. It's quiet entry moderated, but yeah, I'll show you. I got pictures. That's 19 shots. I would see some pellets that would just track beautifully, just stunk right where you wanted. And then I'd see some that looked like you were throwing a screwball. I mean, just stunk. And it would hit good, but you would see this just curve like crazy. And I don't know, I'm going to clean the barrel. I'm going to go through a bunch of stuff because I just pulled it out and shot it today. But it was intermittent. And they didn't wander that far, but they weren't like what they could be. I had some groups on other, before I shot this one for this photograph that were, I mean, I'd have a group like that, and then I just have a couple outliers, but the bulk of the, 15 of the rounds would be like undersize of a quarter. And this, I mean, that's a pretty decent sized group, right? But that last one was the last shot, sort of kind of wandered off, but it was one of them screwball shots. And I don't understand what's causing that. I'm not an engineer. I don't know what could be doing it. I'm going to clean the barrel and take another run at it and see if it gets better. But it would do it with any pellet. I tried 6, 7 different pellets. I don't think it has the power to push slugs. And I think this is the mistake I made with this gun. I bought 25 because all the other ones I had that I was testing were also 25s. If I had looked at the power and like paid attention before, dropping a dime, I would have got it in 22 or maybe even 177. I would love to have this gun in 177 because it's got plenty of juice in 177 to make the most of what it can do, but I think it falls short on 25. I would not recommend this gun in 25 cal. Now, I'm talking about what it can do out of the box with the factory approved adjustments. If you're one of those mad scientists out there that can make this do 100 foot-pounds because you know how to go twist, pull, yank, and can, make something happen, more power to you. I'm not that guy. So this is what I could get out of this reliably, consistently, with what I was given from the factory. I was able to get, well, right here, I think, what do we got here for I'll be right there, Sue. We're 35, or more than the paper says. They were saying 33 and some change. I was getting 36. 36.7 was the best I got. And that's about what I get. Now, I did have a group where I turned it up and got 835, but I actually dialed it back to that 150 because I wanted to get more shots. Yes, Sue.
Okay, you have a question here.
Okay.
Greg Amado, he said, do you check for pellet to bore fit to possibly account for inconsistencies?
No. I shoot the pellets as they come out of the tin. I don't size them. I don't wash them. I just shoot them. Could I have some inconsistencies? Possibly. I was shooting JSB 25 4s. So theoretically, should be fine. They're the same tin I was using on other guns that were giving me perfect results. And again, I tried multiple pellets. I tried the JSB Kings. I tried the heavies. I tried field target trophies. Those were a disaster. I tried the JTS pellets. I tried a bunch of different pellets, and none of them, all of them did the same thing. Like a couple would give me that nice, straight, beautiful arc, and then the rest would just do the screwball. I thought maybe that I was somewhere it was clipping. So I took the moderator shroud off. And so let me show you what they got going on here, because oftentimes you'll have, we'll switch back over here in just a second. Let me get to the pictures. Here they are. Okay, so here's your barrel, and it does have 1/2 UNF. I tried a moderator, didn't help. Tried a couple different moderators, tried like 3 different mods. It changed the point of impact, did not change accuracy. Actually made it a little worse with all of them. Let's see. And then we have, if you take that off, you have a threaded barrel. Now, I also tried it with the moderator just on the barrel, no shroud, same thing. So that didn't help either. I did not shoot it just the barrel without a shroud. Maybe I can try that, but anyway. Now, if we go back to the bits and pieces, here they are. So all you got in there, you have an air stripper right here, and that air stripper goes in the front of your shroud. So that air stripper goes in the front of your shroud, connects to the barrel, and it actually creates a barrel tension, which is probably helps with consistency, like overall, but it really snugs that shroud into the receiver. So it screws in, gives you that good barrel tension. But there's no baffles to speak of. It's just an air stripper and then the entire shroud. It's got a little hole for air to pop out. It's not terribly loud, but there's not much for quiet energy and suppression in there, noise suppression. But I don't know what's causing the screwballness. And it's not like it went like so far out of bounds. The 25 4s all did, if I was hunting prairie dogs, or I was hunting jackrabbit, or I was hunting, squirrel or whatever at 50 yards, it's done. I mean, it's all but done. So, but on an $800 gun, my expectation would be at least, I mean, bare minimum would need to be sub 1 inch at 50 yards. So my goal, and I know maybe a little bit more liberal than some of them, but I want to see on like an $800 gun, I want 2 MOA accuracy. I don't need sub MOA personally. I like it, love to get it, it's fun to shoot it. But if I'm spending $500 to $500,000, 2 MOA, I'm okay with. I think as you get close to that grand, it needs to be better than 2 MOA. It needs to be more closer to the 1 MOA. But I'm okay with like an inch group. But it needs to be an inch. Like center to center needs to be an inch or better for a gun of this class. This one just won't do it. Now, I could get it for 8 shots, maybe 5, maybe 10 shots. But when you stretch the whole mag, you get variations across 19 shots. So maybe I'm being too aggressive that way. Maybe I should shoot several smaller groups and kind of see where they play out. But I just wanted to give this a shot today to see if this kind of data is useful for you guys. Some of the other things, some of the adjustability that I thought was pretty cool. So they did a good job on giving us some things to tinker with. So we have and these are all externally adjustable without, well, the reg you need a tool. Okay. The hammer spring and transfer port, you don't need a tool. The hammer spring is pretty cool. You just have a wheelie there and you just roll that wheel.
Don't zoom in move it to the right, please.
This side.
Yes.
Okay. You got
way
me.
I'm not moving
I got
the
you.
picture
I got you. I got you. So you got me on the left side. No
Yes.
problem. We're on the same page. This is all the way up. So that's the hammer spring, like full tilt. And I mean, so I had the reg up high, the hammer spring up high, and the transfer port wide open. And the best I could get was that 36 and some change foot-pounds. But it's actually more than they promised. I would love to have this gun in a 22. I really would. I really, 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 really would. And I'd even probably more love to have it in a 177. This in a 177 and a 177, if it was accurate, I think that would be a lot of fun personally. But I've got the 25, so that's what we got. Let's see if there are any other notes I want to talk about here. Let's see. What?
That picture.
Sorry. Oh, family photos. I don't know who that was. Was that us?
That was us and the Athertons.
Oh goodness, that's sorry about that, Athertons. I've just doxed you. And they live at no, seriously. The other notes here. I think we've really covered it. The trigger was decent. I did not adjust the trigger. I didn't find any problems with that. I would probably want to run I was running Hawke mounts and a decent Hawke scope on this. It was the Vantage 30 wide angle side focus 6-24 is what I was running on this. I think I would like to try it with a scope that has the West Hunter mounts because it was just a fraction too low for me, but it was okay. I'd like to get it just a little bit higher for me ergonomically. I thought the trigger was decent, cocking lever was decent. The safety was just a manual safety was decent. It does have came with 2 magazines, and it does have a single shot tray. And that was the other thing I was thinking about trying was I wonder if the magazine's deforming the pellet because there's a lot of tension on that magazine. Yes, Sue.
You have a few people commenting, so can I read them out?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Let me get there.
Okay.
Okay. So for whatever reason, the pellet's not leading square to the bore. Harmonics is the reason, and this can help cheap. I'm not sure what that's about. Sometimes excess air can cause turbulence behind the pellet. It's possible that too may affect the pellet flight. Benjamin says, wrap a coil around your barrel with large rubber band and slide the coil up and down the last 6 to 8 inches of the barrel. Watch your 5 to 10 shot groups. Every 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, you slide it.
Okay, we can try that. Now, would you want me to do that with the shroud on, or are we talking directly on the barrel? That would be my question. Should I wrap the shroud or take the shroud off and just go with the barrel?
And Beanflip said magazine deformation, that could be it too.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm personally, having been through this before with some of the other Hatsan guns, the spring in the magazine, because this is the same mag they use in their full auto, which has a very heavy spring. It's got such a heavy spring that they give you a crank with it. You actually have a hand crank to be able to easily load the mag. That's how tight the spring is on it. So it would not shock me at all if we've got some pellet deformation in there. So I might try the single shot tray and see if that solves the problem. If that does, and I'll try that first before I go through a bunch of other stuff and see what that does. And I can let you guys know how that works out, because if that fixes it and makes it run better, that make me happy. So what is that noise we got over there? Oh, that must be the fridge.
And
all right, got some sort of low-end hum going on over there. Okay, well, that's basically my report. I'm curious what you guys think of it, because it may be, and what we could also do, and the thing Sue and I was talking about, where we were talking about, is if you wanted to see the best pellet accuracy, like actually see me shooting it, I could be playing that on the screen here and talking to you guys at the same time. If that's sufficient, if that kind of data is what you guys want, then we can do that. We can do that and make this whole process probably get you more relevant, real-time, timely data versus what I'm doing. Because I'm not the cell phone video guy. Like, I don't do that very well, and I'm having a hard enough time with this. But to do that, I got to edit, and it's just.
Beanflip said he's liking the photo work and deep dive into your experience with it.
Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. And like I shot the Pinty this last week, and I did it again. Sorry.
And Benjamin sent you a picture in email.
Okay, sounds good.
That he wanted to show you what he. I think that's from earlier. What he said he wanted you to see that he got today.
Sure. Cool. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. If that kind of format works for you, I may try and do some more. We're still going to do the videos, guys. We're still doing the videos. We'll do those. But I actually think I could be, well, I can answer your questions too, right? I could be more communicative about my experience, especially because it's so fresh. I shot this afternoon. I do like the gun. I want to get the gunner out now. I want to get I actually shot the FX Dream Tac here recently. There's another gun very, very similar to this I've got that I want to shoot. I forgot the name of it. I got it from Utah. And then the other gun I want to pull out, which is interesting. I haven't shot it in a long time. I'm almost scared to take it out of the case. Is I have a JSAR that has all the barrels. It has I don't have the 177. I have 22, 25, 30, and 35 with all the gear that goes with it. That could be a fun gun to talk about. So that would be a nice tinkerer. Yes, Sue?
Benjamin's saying, look at the picture he sent.
I will look at it.
Airgun editor email address.
I'll take a look at it after the show.
Nick's asking, how's the new 5X scope, XN scope with rangefinder?
Okay, so let's jump over to that. I was thinking about unboxing these today, but I think what I'm going to do is not unbox them. I'll talk about them, and I will actually do some work with them. I'll get them charged up, use them, and then we'll do a video. Maybe, I don't know if it'd be next week or after, but I'll actually have the scopes, and I can go through some of the features. What I might be able to do too, if these work like the other ones, I know the X-Sight 5 will, I can output to HDMI, and maybe we can actually get an image, you guys can see it. So yeah, we'll see how that works. The laser rangefinder I have used on the 3 power. I have not used it yet on the 5 power. So this one's still new in the plastic. I just pulled it out of the box today. So this is going to go on a rifle. I've got to learn that process. I have not played with it yet. I've used the rangefinder, and I can make that work. I can get a range. But the ability to actually have it where it's doing the automatic ballistics for me, that's what I want to. That's really what I want to do. And I think I've got the 3 to 15. Is it 3 to 15? 3 to 9, 3 to 12, 3 to, I don't know. I've got the lesser one. I got the other one on my 30 cal sniper. Now that video is coming out tomorrow, so you want to check that out. I've got a Evan-X 30 cal sniper push in about 90 foot-pounds that I want to use for coyotes. I'm going to try it out with the Hades next. If that works good, then we're golden. But that's got the rangefinder on it, and I want to see if the ballistics. I want to try using that to learn how to do the ballistic stuff. So that's going to be it. The other scope is this guy right here. Maybe I could at least take the plastic off. Sue, I don't know if you want to switch screens here or switch cameras. Yeah, I'm gonna.
No, it looks good once you get it open, maybe.
Okay, so this one I do want to kind of look at, I guess. Oh, also, Joe sent me, hi Joe, he sent me these pellets. I don't know if you guys have seen these. I don't know what camera works better.
Let's try the top and let me just get there. There you go.
So these are the new Mark II. These are the Monsters. These are the lights. The Monsters in 22 are heavy. These are 20 grain, so they're a little bit more than the 1813s, right? But they are, I have found them to really be shooting well. So he sent me some tins so I can do some more testing. I'm excited to, I was about out, so I want to do some more testing with them. Okay. I don't know anything about this scope yet. I haven't even looked it up yet. This is, I guess Angie was recently talking about this one, or has this one. Let's see, how do we open this up without tearing it up? We got this here. Yeah, it's just child-proof box. Okay.
Can't wait to see the video with that scope with ballistics. Been looking for one. Thanks, great live show.
Yeah, I think that what we want to do on that, what we're looking to do is when the weather gets better. It's not going to happen for a couple months, guys, so please be patient with us. But we have the range set up with lights, and the range itself is black, dark. But we have some lights, at least with the shooting table. We can film there and actually get output of the, I have a video recorder that'll record HDMI onto a chip. So that should be pretty cool. When we do that, we'll be able to show everything because I can show you how the setup works and all that. It's just, I'm like super excited about this. Okay, so this is their new scope. Let's see. I'm going to try and look at this.
I've got it on the.
I'm going to pull it up over here. Don't take my, don't put my screen up, okay?
I'm not. I've got you and the scope on the tape.
ATN Corp. Okay, so let's grab. This is their new.
You want me to go there now?
In just a minute. Smart Digital Rifle Scopes.
And Benjamin said
Here it is.
the photo that he sent you is of the coil of lead picture.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you can switch over to to my computer now. Okay, so this is their new optic, and I don't know much about it other than it's new, and I'm looking forward to getting it on a rifle. So it's got a new sensor, ultra sensitive nighttime sensor. They've got high definition display. It's they got that's all the normal stuff. Yeah, I think we're going. Did they send me the? Please send me the 5 one. They didn't. They sent me the 3 to 9. Ah.
Doesn't the box say 5?
This one's the 5.
Okay.
Yeah, they sent me the 3 to 9. Well, I have to send it back, so I don't get to keep this one. It goes back to them. It looks like really affordable. So this is their. I wonder if this is like a replacement to the LTV. So we're going to give this one a shot, and they're welcome to have it back because I have Excite 4s and they sent me the 5s. So we've got an illuminator. We've got the scope itself. We shall see how this does. Price-wise, it looks pretty aggressive. So $600 seems like pretty good deal. Let's see what the LTV is a little bit cheaper. So it's probably this is their replacement for the LTV, the Gen 4 LTV. Now this is like Gen 5 LTV-ish, I'm guessing. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so that's it. We'll give this a shot. It looks like the resolution's good, like a full 4K sensor or better. Not quite, but pretty good. And we'll see how it does. Looks like you're getting 10 hours of battery. One of the things they do super good, or super well, I should say, is their battery life is incredible. Just go like this, maybe? Yeah, okay. This is one of those things that once it comes out, it doesn't go back together. Okay, so we will get this out and we will play with this soon.
Someone's asking how heavy. I'm thinking
How heavy is it?
asking how heavy is the scope.
It's not bad. Let's see if we have some data. We can just give you an actual like number. Let's see. Give me some data here, guys.
You want your scale?
Okay. I could get no, it's not going to be good. Well, they got a massive illuminator, so they've got 1,000+ yard illuminator. That's cool. Let's see. You're going to give me some data here, guys. Oh, here it is. 1.7 pounds. So as far as scopes go, it's heavy, but as far as day-night scopes and thermal scopes, it's pretty light. Yeah, 1.7 pounds. So that's pretty cool. Okay, well that is that.
Nice that it comes with a bag.
Yeah, well the bag's really cool because when you have it on your gun, you just take the bag and you just leave it on your gun and you just slide this like your scope cover.
Oh, cool.
So you can, if you're packing it up, you can zip it up all the way. But if you're just using it like a scope cover, it works good that way. Okay, so we're going to give this a shot. We'll see how this does. I need them to send me the 5 power. So why do I say that? I'll tell you why. Sue can give you a pretty good description of how this works for someone who doesn't shoot all the time. When you were setting up your X-Sight 5, now she has the 5 to 25 X-Sight 5, but doesn't have the LRF, so it doesn't have the laser rangefinder. I don't have any pictures of you shooting here, babe. But we got a video coming up.
Fine.
You guys should check it out. And I wanted her to go through the process of actually dialing it in. And what did you think of that whole one-shot zero thing? It's okay.
Refresh my memory. Because
That was the thing where you'd shoot, you'd see a puff, and you'd have to move the reticle to where you hit.
Well, shooting into the dust, my husband, my lovely, wonderful husband, had me shooting at a piece of rock on a dirt bank. And my eyesight's not that great, so I'd shoot at the rock, and I don't know where it hit, because all I see is this puff of dust. So then I aim higher and try again, and then I see a puff of dust, and I'm like, is it left of it? Is it right of it? So eventually he set me up on some targets so I could figure it out.
Yeah, but what she also found was that, and this is unique to the X-Sight 5 because the 4s did this better. When you're dialing it in, when you go to adjust the reticle, it zooms you all the way out.
Yes.
And then you're trying to do like a 1/2 inch adjustment, and
it's hard to see it.
You can't see the damn thing.
Yeah.
So if you want to target shoot like paper, like I shoot a lot of paper. Okay, these are not paper scopes. If you're shooting paper, these aren't what you want. Okay. These are like phenomenal for hunting. You want to hunt, you want to do that. You want to capture your hunt. You want to be able to see at night. These things are freaking amazing. They're really good. And the optics are clear and the screens are bright and they're crisp and they're just really, really good that way. That's why she wanted the 5. I tried her on the 4, no go. Tried her on the LTV, yeah, no. Put her back on the 5 and she was at home.
Yeah.
Now,
5 is nice.
If you can get it dialed in, it's beautiful. But you're probably going to have to do a little Kentucky windage if you're shooting paper, because it's not like you have a scope. When I click my scope, let's just say it's a standard scope, it's a 1/4 inch at 100 yards. So it's an 1/8 inch at 50 yards, right? So I have that very fine adjustment. You do not have that with these. So if you want to target shoot precision like bench rest, these are the wrong tool for that job. If you want to shoot coyote or raccoon or squirrel at night, or if it's legal, or you want to go do that stuff, these things are the bomb. And then of course you get to record your footage too. But when you have the 5 power, your initial image is clearer, much clearer. And as you zoom in, it stays clearer than when you try and zoom in with a 3 to 9. You're already at 3 power. So now to get even up to where you were on the other one, you've got to go half your distance to the next. To your other thing, you've got digital crop or digital zoom, and it's not as clear. So I would say 3 to 9 if you're like 25 yards, 35 yards, no problem. Out to 50 maybe if you're hunting the bigger game, coyote, hog, that kind of thing. But if you're shooting smaller stuff, let's say you're ratting or something like that, you want to stretch out to 50 yards, get the 5. Get the 5 to 25. It's a little more money, but you will be much, much happier. The picture quality when you zoom in is so much better on the higher initial magnification. So anyway, so there you go. But that's why I had her try the 3 to 9, but she wants to zoom in because that's how she sees better.
Yeah.
And it's not the digital zoom to get you. So any other questions we got going on?
No, but you do have a comment from Chad. I'd
Okay.
like to thank you and Airgun Angie for getting me into PCPs. My first was Avenger 22 Woodstock.
Beautiful gun, right? I mean, a really, really nice gun. Affordable gun too. We were talking about affordable air guns last week, and there's so many cool air guns on the market right now that are way under $1,000 that do so much. I mean, they're regulated, they're adjustable, they're serviceable. There's so many cool things you can do for so much less money now than when I first started. When I say it's a great time to be an air gunner, it keeps getting greater. It's just awesome. So we're about run our hour through, guys. Do let me know in the comments if you like that sort of airgun report. I don't want to say airgun reporter because that was Paul Capella, because I'm not him. But I do want to give you an airgun report. So AirgunWeb's airgun report. If you guys like that, we'll try and do those, not every week, but we'll try and do it maybe every other week or once in a while. If you guys enjoy them, I'll try and do more of those, and we'll try and get them tighter and better and more concise, where we're really hitting those points you guys want to know about. Yes, Sue.
And we'll need to make sure that when you're showing photos that you slow down. And that you have them in an order that you can actually show them.
Yep.
And maybe in a timed manner, not a boom, 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 up, down, move around. Because for those watching, I don't know about you, but for me it was like, whoa, where's he going?
I don't understand the problem. I don't understand what the problem is. It looks like Nick is saying glass for paper and bench rest. Absolutely. That is, yes. I shoot these on paper just because I get to capture the footage and it looks cool to me. But it's not practical for, like, if you're really doing precision shooting, you're going to want to put, that's why Hawke's got some great stuff. I obviously use their stuff because they're sponsors, and they hooked me up with some great scopes. So I'm not short good glass. The Frontier 34 is probably my favorite. It's expensive for an air gunner, but it is a beautiful piece of glass. It's really, really nice. All right. Anything else going on here, guys? If you have any other questions, now's the time to get them out. You can always push your comments and questions in the video comments, and we will do our best to get back to you guys. Just a quick reminder, we have the Airgun Shoot, AirgunExpo coming up. It's Memorial Day weekend. You can find out the details at theairgunexpo.com. Check that out. There's a form there that if you want to come, just let us know you're coming so we know how many people to expect. And if you want to come and stay here, we have a limited number of campgrounds that have power. We don't have water, don't have septic, but we do have power. You can plug in, at least run your air conditioner if you need to. We have that set up. We have 5 spots in our little campground. Yeah, so do let us know if you want to come out and stay. And so fill out the form, and I'll be reaching out to sponsors to see if they want to support another Airgun Expo. Whether they do or not, doesn't matter. We're going to have fun shooting air guns that weekend. Yes, Sue?
It's a great opportunity for people who want to actually try out some air guns.
Yeah.
You have Connexes full of them.
Yeah, I do.
It's a great opportunity for people to actually get their hands on something, shoot it, see if they like it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I had other things I was going to talk about. We got some cool videos coming up. Keep your eyes open for the Evan X Sniper 30 with ATN. That's coming out. That may be my new Coyote gun. We have the Pinty video that I shot this week. That turned out really well. I think the Pinty, I have the bullpup. I really want to try the rifle. I want to try the tactical. I think that gun is going to make a lot of people happy. It's not a tack driver. I'll just let you know right off the rip. It's decent. 15.89s will give you a respectable group. Now, I was shooting at 25 yards. if it doesn't shoot like super good at 25, it's not gonna get better at 50, right? So I do all my initial testing up close and then I work my way out. But yeah, it was okay. The 15.89s did pretty good. Other pellets, some of them were just horrific. That'll be an interesting video to share with you guys. I've got some more coverage on the R12 laminate BSA. Beautiful gun. Shot slugs with that. Shot some slugs in my Red Wolf, and we have a video with Sue and I on her McCavity. She really likes that gun. I do not blame her. That 22 just suits her, so she did some shooting with us, shooting some spinners and having a good time. And then I did some more work with the production version of the McCavity 25. We're going to get back to that whole process so we can really get some data. Now, McCavity has some new guns coming out. I'm waiting, I would say patiently, but I'd be lying. They have some new guns, and I don't have the flyer here. Maybe next week I'll share that with you. They have some incredibly killer new air guns coming out. They look gorgeous. We're talking laminate wood stocks. They look like day states or better. They look really, really good. So I expect to see those. I should have a sample coming in pretty soon. They have one prototype they can share with me. We'll get a video, get some coverage of that out, and we'll be able to talk about it. I'm super excited about that. So definitely stay tuned. All that stuff's going to be coming up. One last thing, and then we're going to run. Sue and I are going to be out of town for at least 2 weeks in March. So we may not do shows the last 2 weeks in March. So we'll let everybody know. We'll put something on the community post on YouTube saying we'll catch you on, then put a date in when the next show is. We're out of town. If we're able to do something there, perchance, and it makes sense to do it, and we're not putting a round peg in a square hole, we'll do it. But if not, we're going to visit family. We'll just put it that way. So we'll be out of town. So guys, that's going to be it for now. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please do let me know if you like the Airgun Report, because I'll do more of those. I may even do those more than once a week. If that's something you guys like, I would be pleased to do them because I enjoy doing that kind of stuff. But anything else you got over there, Sue? Anything going on?
No, pretty much you can read the chat afterwards and comment back to people.
Sure. All right. Nick's saying, when is the shoot? The shoot's Memorial Day weekend. Check out...
It's May 24th to 26th.
There you go. Check out the AirgunExpo for more details if you guys want to come out and hang out and do some shooting. I'd love to have you guys out. And I'm hoping to have the GTA fun shoot here at the same time. So hopefully we'll get, 5-6 people, maybe. We're way out in the middle of the woods. You come in with, paratroop in, get C-130.
We are way out in the middle of the woods.
We are.
However, we do have directions to where we are.
We do. And there's roads.
We can meet you.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
It isn't that bad. We just like to pretend
it used to be worse.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, again, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. Check out GatewayToAirguns.org. If you're not a member, consider becoming a member. Same thing with AirgunArmy.com. 2 great sites that have a lot of fun airgun stuff going on regularly. Yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks, guys. It's Rick, and that's Sue. We're out. Bye.
Bye, guys.